in today's session of Divorce Court. Michelle Winston says her husband Danny let her know exactly what he thought of their marriage.
You told your wife that you were having an affair and there was no way you were going to stop.
My wife didn't care about nobody but herself. When I used to come home from a hard day's work and try to talk to my wife, you think she listened to me? No. I cooked, I cleaned.
So, what you want, a medal?
Now Michelle Winston wants payback as she faces Danny Winston in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Danny Winston versus Michelle Winston. And Ms. Winston, I'm advised that after 2 years of marriage, you want a divorce.
Yes, that's
Why
correct.
so soon?
Because of adultery, because he was cheating on me.
No, Honor.
Adultery?
It didn't go out like that at first.
Tell me about the cheating on you.
I went to work one morning, and there was a message on my machine where him and another girl were having a conversation about getting together.
Wait, Your Honor.
No, you wait and hold on and let her finish telling me what she's telling.
Him and another female was having a conversation about getting together, saying that it wasn't going to be long before they were together, and they were going to put a sign that says, "Do not disturb" on the door.
And this is a message on your phone at work?
Yes. Yes,
and they're
it
going to
was.
put a sign say, "Do not disturb" on the door at work?
Yes.
Your Honor.
So,
You work together?
No,
No,
Your Honor.
no,
This is because we weren't having anything. We weren't having sex. She was denying me. I was doing everything.
Who's we?
My wife and I.
Oh, you weren't having sex with her but somebody else.
Yes.
Why would you leave such a message over the telephone?
Because, no, Your Honor. Because I didn't know that she hung up the phone, I was talking to her. Me and her were having a conversation.
You can't even refer to her by her name. It's her.
Michelle.
Oh.
I was talking to my wife.
Got you. And then you called your girlfriend.
Yes.
And your wife left the phone open and shot you.
Yes, she didn't hang up the phone.
Surprise. And that's when you found out about this other woman.
exactly.
And when you
And
asked
so-
him about
Actually,
it, what did he
that's
say?
not true.
I asked him about it, and he denied it.
No, actually, that's not true.
He denied it.
Mr. Winston, one more time. When she's talking, you be quiet.
He denied he denied the fact that he was messing around with another woman.
That's not true.
And I kept asking him, and he finally, after going along with this story, he said yes.
What story was he telling?
Story about him and a previous marriage that he had. And
What the world do a previous
What does that
marriage
have to
got
do with this one?
anything?
because he was messing around then with her, and
No,
the fact that
no,
he had
Your
told
Honor,
me,
and you know
because
what?
he
No, hold on a
continued-
second. I'm trying to understand what you're telling me, Ms. Winston.
He continued the conversation on because because he told me what he was trying to tell me is that he had this lady. This lady was pregnant.
The one that you overheard the conversation
Exactly.
with? And he said it was a
Exactly.
previous wife?
No, he was telling me about a previous wife because he had done the same thing on his
No,
first
Your
marriage.
Honor, no.
He had done the same thing
I don't understand.
previously.
You heard him having a conversation with a woman on your telephone, making an arrangement to get together and put up a do not disturb sign.
Right,
And you
yes.
kept questioning him about it, and he finally admitted it.
Exactly.
And
That's
then
a
the
lie.
woman was
That's-
pregnant? Then you discovered she was pregnant? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Yes.
That's a
Yes.
lie. That's not true
Yes.
at all.
So
That
is
is
there a
exactly what
baby?
happened.
Then
Yes,
we know
there
whether
is.
it's true or not.
Yes, there is a baby.
By the woman that left you the message?
Exactly. The
Accidentally?
message- yes,
And
exactly.
ask her
That's
what
what
month
happened.
was this in and this message was left.
So she just got it too fast. Is that what you're telling me?
Pardon me?
She's ahead of herself.
Yeah, she's
It was
way
a
ahead of
different
herself.
woman.
Not only is she ahead of herself, but I never lied about anything, about these questions that she talking about. She had already knew because she asked me. My wife and I were not having a good relationship.
All right, so that's your
Okay, so I had already
justification.
told her before she even heard this conversation. She asked me, was I cheating? I told her yes.
No, you did not.
Yes, I
No,
did,
you
because
did
she
not,
said,
Danny.
would
You
you stop?
denied
I
it.
said no.
You did not
So
tell
you mean
me
you
at
told
first.
your wife that you were having an affair and there was no way you were going to stop?
We were not having sex.
And Your Honor, I asked
We
him.
were
Wait a
not
minute,
ha-
Mrs. Winston. You can't talk when he's talking.
We were not having sex. My wife didn't care about nobody but herself.
What do you mean by that?
Like when we had to go to work, I mean, she has a child that's not ours together. But at night, when the child was a baby, I would get up at nighttime and feed him, put him back to sleep. And I would ask her, why don't you do this sometimes? Her answer was, because I got to get up and go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Did you have to get up and go to work?
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
So she thought that you were supposed to take care of her child as opposed to her?
I mean,
and you didn't share the responsibility?
Right. Nothing we did it was shared. She has a car right now. I offered to pay, I paid half of that car.
And what happened?
Half of that car. She said my name would be put on the title.
On the registration.
Was my name put on the title? No, it was not. When I asked her why not, she said I didn't see no need for it.
Ms. Winston, what about that? You're a married woman. You're supposed to be sharing. You didn't help get up and take care of the baby?
Yes, I didn't ask. Yeah, I did took care of my son.
No, she did
I didn't ask him to get up.
I fed him. I changed his diapers. I got up in the middle of the night and did everything for him.
Yes, you did, but that's
yes,
not.
I did.
It's
and
not
you
to say
did
that I didn't. I did too.
All right, Mr. Winston.
I did too. This is my son. I was getting up in the mornings and changing his diaper. I wasn't letting you do all the work.
He said he didn't say in the morning. He said in the middle of the night. Because you had to get up and go to work, you would let him do it.
That was not all the time.
What about the car?
All the time. And the excuse was
we did not have a discussion.
She had to get up and go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning.
You already told me that, Mr. Winston.
We did not have a discussion about putting a title, putting his name, a title on the car.
That's not true.
We had just when we had first gotten married, we had left the state. I had just got the car. We had left the state.
So whether you had a discussion or not, if you got a car and you got it during the marriage, why isn't his name on title?
He has a car and my name is not on the title.
But you want to jump back to, he has one and my name is not on the title. I'm talking about yours. That's where we are now.
Right.
Why isn't his name on title if it's his car?
It's not his car.
If it's a car that you bought during the marriage, why wouldn't you put his name on title?
I don't know. I guess we never had the discussion, and
Forget about a discussion. Why wouldn't you just do it without a discussion? He's your husband. It's a car that the two of you purchased during the marriage. Why wouldn't you put his name on title? You don't want him to have any ownership interest?
Of course, I did.
But you're tie-tongue now. You're standing there looking at me. Why didn't you put his name on title?
I don't know. I don't know.
You didn't think about that?
Not at the time, I did.
So without his name on title, is it called my car and not our car?
No.
Do you refer to that as my car?
No, and I did not. I referred to it as our car.
And now you
I
said
didn't have a problem with him using the car. He used the car anytime he got ready. I didn't.
No, I did not use the car.
Mr. Winston.
It wasn't a problem. I didn't know that was a problem with his name being on the title. It was
not being on title.
Not being on the title. It was our car.
Now you said that he has a car and your name is not on his title.
Exactly.
And was that bought during the marriage as well?
Right when we got married and moved to another state, he bought a car.
And he just put his name on it.
Exactly.
So that's the way you all do things.
When divorce court returns, Danny testifies about his frustrating marriage.
I used to come home from a hard day's work and try to talk to my wife. You think she listened to me? No.
But Michelle tells a different story.
I would come home from work and he would be gone. He would pack his things and he would be gone. He would just leave us.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Danny Winston, who says his wife Michelle took more interest in herself than in their marriage.
Why isn't her name on title?
Because of the way I did it.
Because you didn't register it with her name on it.
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because at the time, I was just trying to get a car to get to work, or I was going to lose my job.
It doesn't matter that you were just trying to get a car. My point is, you can't complain about your name not being on title to her car.
I paid for that.
So what? You didn't put her name on title to yours?
She didn't pay for this car?
Did you pay for it while you were married?
Yeah, I gave her half the money.
Did you pay for your car while you were married?
Yes.
Then she paid for it, because your money is her money, in case nobody told you.
Your Honor.
She did pay for it. So both of you were handling your marital situation such that you weren't acting as married persons. You were both being selfish. This is my car. I paid for it. Your name doesn't go on it. This is my car. Your name doesn't go on it. Okay, big deal. You know what? It really doesn't matter. You bought it during the marriage. I don't care whose name is on it. If the dog's name is on it, if you bought it during the marriage and it's registered to you, it's your car. It's your car. No big deal. What else you want to fuss about?
When I used to come home from a hard day's work and try to talk to my wife, you think she listened to me? No. Not only did she not listen to me, she blamed me for whatever went wrong at work.
For whatever went wrong at her job?
No, at my job.
How
You
can I
know,
blame
when
you
I
when
come home and I want somebody to talk to
And you're
get it off my
complaining about
chest,
work?
I just want to get it off my chest and tell her how my day went. Maybe it's your fault. Maybe you wasn't doing something right.
So she always seemed to take someone else's side.
Yeah,
How can I
always.
take
So
someone
you
else's
didn't think that you
side?
had
I'm
any
not there,
support from your
Danny.
wife?
None whatsoever.
I
Not
did give
one
him support.
bit.
I was there. I was there the whole time.
What time?
I never cheated on you, not one time. I was
Michelle.
there the whole time. I supported you for whatever you did.
Okay,
Everything
wait,
you
wait.
did, I
You bringing
supported
up a
you.
Well,
woman.
he's saying, hold on a second. He said one of the reasons that he went out on you was because of the fact that you weren't having sex with him or weren't doing
That's
anything
not
for him.
true.
Yes,
How-
it
we
is.
was-
You
we were
didn't cook.
together.
I cooked.
Oh,
I
please.
cleaned. No,
Oh,
no,
I cannot believe
So,
he
Mr.
is
Winston,
saying
you
this.
were
I
the,
can't-
what are you
can't
trying to
believe
say? You were
this.
Mr. Superman. You cooked,
No,
you
I'm
worked,
not
you
Mr.
did everything.
Superman, but no, I'm not Mr. Superman, but I cooked, I cleaned,
And what's wrong with
and I
that?
paid the bills. Nothing. Nothing.
And you're saying Miss Winston didn't share in that responsibility
No.
at all?
No.
Oh my God, I
So
cannot
what were you,
believe
for the
this.
first time you had a woman that didn't have to cook and clean and go to work at the same time? Women been doing that for years. So what you want, a medal?
No, I don't want no medal.
Oh.
I
That's
wanted
not
somebody
true.
to help me share into it.
Well-
That's what marriage was about, was
And
sharing
you're
and
saying
caring.
it wasn't a sharing.
That's
Your
right.
Honor, if he's not working, he needs to be at home cleaning and cooking.
No, I was working.
He can't even keep a job. He's not even working.
That's not-
He
What do you
wasn't
mean by
working.
that?
Because he would end up, when he found out that he was cheating with this girl, he ended up getting fired from his job. And ever
What,
since
this
then
was a
on-
coworker?
Yes,
And he got
Yes, it
fired as a
was.
result of that.
exactly.
And is that the one where he has a child?
Yes, it is. It is.
So you had a
So
child during the marriage.
Yes, I did.
And your wife forgave you for that?
Yes, I did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, I did.
Are you
Okay,
still
wait.
together?
Pardon me?
Are you still together?
No.
After the child was born, were you still together?
No.
Yes, we were.
Not at first.
How old is the child?
Oh, yeah. Well, the child is 5 months.
And you haven't divorced yet.
No.
And there was, when she found out the woman was pregnant, she didn't divorce you.
No.
So that meant she stayed with you. So you're saying that's why you're divorcing, because of the fact that he wasn't working
No.
after the affair?
No, that's not the why I'm divorcing. It's because he's abandoned us 3 or 4 times.
That's not
Me and my
true.
son.
Wait,
I would
Your
come home.
Hold on, Mr. Winston.
Your Honor, I would come home and I would come home for work and he would be gone. He would pack his things and
What?
he would be gone. He would just leave us.
With
He
no,
would leave-
with no
Wait.
warning in advance.
Exactly. The last time I came home from work and he was gone.
And how long did he stay gone?
Now, that's true.
From then on, I haven't heard. This is the first time I've seen him since.
Now, that's
So
true.
until-
Haven't heard us.
So
No,
when he left the last time, he didn't give you any warning. He just packed his little stuff and got out of there.
Exactly.
And is this
That's
where
exactly
are you
what
now,
happened.
Mr. Winston?
And he took my credit card and charged
That's a
it up.
lie. I ain't took no credit card and
he
charged
had
nothing.
my
Your
credit
Honor,
Hold on a
card.
second.
That is a lie.
What's the lie? I haven't heard anything other than took my
I
credit
took
card.
my credit card and charged on it.
I didn't hear all of that. Can she finish the sentence?
Yes.
She took your credit card and
He took my credit card and charged some CDs or something and some gas. When I came home that day, I couldn't find my credit card. And the first thing I did was call them, and they asked me had I used it that day, and I told them no, I had been at work.
so he took your credit card when he left you and your son abandoned,
Yes.
all alone. So what do you want me to do today?
And also, he charged some phone bills, some telephone bills, what he had
On
called.
the credit card?
on,
No,
Your
on my phone. He had charged some telephone
Which is
calls.
what
Was this
she got-
after you were separated?
Yes,
or while
this
you were
was
still together?
The last time when we was trying to get back together the last time.
And when I got
He
my
used your
check,
phone and made charges.
And charge calling this female on my phone.
You mean
and I didn't,
his lover?
exactly, the one that he has the baby by.
that's not.
Because he,
I
the la-
called
Your
her
Honor, the
twice,
last
Your
Hold
time,
on a second. How many phone calls are we talking about? What amount of money?
I don't know. When I called and verified, it was like about $70 worth.
No.
Long distance telephone calls?
Yes.
To this other woman.
Yes, about
And
yes,
left you to pay
about
for it?
20.
Your Honor.
Yes, because I didn't even know
No.
he had called until I had got my telephone bill.
And you saw the phone number.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Mr. Winston, what about that?
The long distance call she talking about?
Yes.
Were to my sister in California. Now, I did call.
Well, now I've heard of, we always know
wait.
about those sisters, and the
No,
girlfriend
this
is
is my
always the
sister.
sister until
No,
you find out
no.
otherwise.
No, I did call this person twice. That's not $70, and I called her twice to say, I'm about to come out there and see my child.
But the
Now,
other
just
calls were to
wait.
your sister.
He
To
had-
call out there and say, I'm
Hold
about
on.
to see my child does not amount to $70.
So what do
that
you
don't
say?
even amount to 50 cents.
When Mr. Winston left for the last time, you had a telephone bill, right?
Correct.
That you had when the two of you were living together.
Correct.
When he left, a new phone bill came.
Right.
Which was for the month before.
Right.
And how much was the bill?
It was like $291, $291.
Now, has Mr. Winston given you any money on that bill?
No, he has not.
Did you help and give her any money for that particular phone bill after you left?
No.
All right, that's where we are.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict and an update on the case of Deetra Robinette versus Terry Robinette.
Why do you have to do a divorce?
He calls me names like bitch, whore, you name it, fat ass.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Michelle Winston, who says her husband Danny fathered a child with another woman during their marriage.
You know, there are some loans that we have together that he has not been paying that I've been paying on.
No, that is not
So these
true.
were debts that were left at
Exactly.
separation?
Your Honor,
Yes.
Nah, wait a
Loans
minute.
for what? No, you wait a minute and let me get some facts. Loans for what?
They were just personal loans that were taken out.
And how much are they?
One is like $845, and the other one I have no idea. It's like over $1,000.
Well,
because
don't talk to me about if you don't have any idea. What am I supposed to do about something you don't have any idea about? Just throw up a figure?
it's like $1,100.
Oh, so now you're just gonna make up a figure?
No, I said it was over $1,000, but I didn't know exactly how much it is.
And what was that? A personal loan too?
Yes, exactly.
And are these from
Because we
finance
had-
companies or from
Yes.
persons?
These are finance
Finance.
companies.
And what did you buy with the stuff? With the money?
The
Furniture
one
and
that was-
furnishings?
No,
No, the one that's over $1,000, they were consolidated. We consolidated some bills,
All right.
both of us. And the one that was
$845.
that's the balance on it.
What
we
did
had
you
taken
use it
the
for?
money out to fix on one of the cars.
For car repairs.
Yes.
Now, you know anything about those two loans, Mr. Winston?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And have you paid on them since you left?
No, I hadn't paid on them since I left.
All right. So they were incurred during the marriage.
Yes, they were.
All right.
And all this was in her name.
I don't care whose name was in. Community debts. The cars were used during the marriage, were they not?
Yes. Yes,
Community
they were.
debts. I don't care if it
and
was
they
in her
were,
name.
They were not just my bills. They were both. We were consolidating both bills all together.
Okay, the order of the court is that each of you is responsible for 1/2 of whatever debts were existing as of the date of separation, the last date of separation immediately prior to this divorce. Since you were back and forth 2 or 3 times, I can't decide what was owed during those times. The last month or the last date of separation immediately before you filed for this divorce. 1/2 of any debts that were outstanding, each of you is responsible for it, which includes the telephone bill, which includes the car loan repairs, the loan for car repairs, which includes the loan for the consolidated debts, and any other debts that were outstanding as of the date of separation. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
All rise.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Deetra Robinette versus Terry Robinette.
My son started calling me names. Our 3-year-old calls me a bitch.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Deetra Robinette said she put up with her husband Terry Lynn calling her names because she wanted to save her marriage. But when her son picked up his dad's bad habit, Deetra said she called it quits.
He calls me names like bitch, whore, you name it, fat ass.
Is this the way you lived for 4 years? Why do you have to do a divorce?
Because my son started calling me the names. Our 3-year-old calls me a bitch.
What have you done for this 3-year-old to know that he should call you something else?
Actually, I just ignore it and think that it'll go away.
Deetra said Terry Lynn wasn't taking care of their son, and she wanted him to pay her child support. The judge issued an order for support. Terry Lynn says his son is the only good thing that came out of his marriage to Deetra, and he's glad to be rid of her and the drama that goes with her. Deetra says there's a new man in her life who treats her like a queen, and is more of a father to her son than Terry Lynn could ever be.
I thought the judge's decision was fair, even though I still think that he should have paid for my credit card, but I thought the judge's decision was fair. It was pretty fair.
I thought the verdict was fair. I mean, we ought to pay half of everything, and I didn't think that some of the stuff that we ought to pay half on, but that was the judge's ruling, and I agree.
He had left us one too many times, and I'm just not going to put my son through it, and my son we've been through enough, and we're not going to go through this again.
I don't think I'll ever get married again.